Welcome to Develop and Use Complex Spreadsheets, Session 3. Today's session, a quick recap on the progress sheets. Students should be familiar now with those, working through the videos on eLearn and working through the textbook. Just want to make sure students are able to copy the exercise sheets into their master file correctly. That does involve having two spreadsheets open, so we'll look at that. And the naming of the master file should be what's on the screen, comp222-ducks, your first name, and then last name, initial. For students looking to review the exercises from section 2 of the book, you can, that is in the previous video, session 2, part 2, section 2, and that's on eLearn as well. Today's topic is topic 3, charts. And a great place to start is page 56, which looks at the various components of the charts. We'll go there shortly. We'll be working through the chart exercises on eLearn. And then at this stage for session 3, we should be doing topic 3, completing that topic. For those students who are moving forward, great if you can get in and continue with topic 4 and topic 5. I'd be keen to know where my online students are up to, so if you could email me or through eLearn, that would be fantastic. The spreadsheet you can see in front of you now is my comp master sheet, so that's comp222-ducks, and there's my name. It's a section 2 progress sheet, and I've worked through the exercises, just ticking them off. Exercise 28, I'm really keen to see what students come up with. It is the exercise on page 37 regarding a camping equipment company. And what I'm looking for is good layout, good design, clever use of formulas, and we'll see what students come up to. Remember exercise 22, which was the James Mitchell real estate exercise. Here's an example here. I have my identification area. We have a documentation area, the input area, this is where the data is entered, the work area, where our formulas here are using an absolute reference, denoted by the dollar signs, and then finally producing our output, down below, which are our results. So have a go at exercise 28, using that layout or one that you think will be most appropriate, and we'll compare them in class. Now what I want to show is inserting the progress sheet 3. So I'm going to go to the end of my worksheets, arrowing using my right arrow. Here we go. That's the end of the worksheet. So if I right click on that, I'm going to, first of all, I need to open my spreadsheet, So to open that, file, open, and let's find progress sheet 3. There's my section 3 progress sheet. So you can see the Excel. If you go on the screen there, you see it's toggling between two spreadsheets, the section 3 progress sheet that I've just opened and my master sheet. You can only move or copy a spreadsheet into another one when they're both open. And we go to the one that we want to copy from. So we want to copy the section 3 progress sheet. Right click on the tab, move or copy. Create a copy, very important, otherwise it just moves it. But now we drop down to find our master file name. There it is there. And I can scroll and select where I want to put it. I'm going to put it at the very end after the revision chapter 2 exercises. Click OK, and there it is there, section 3. Best thing to do now is to go back, again toggling through my windows. There's the one that I opened. I'm going to close that. brings me back to section 3, progress sheet now in my master file. I'll save that and we're ready to go. In front of you now is page 56, looking at the chart data. It's very important that students can get a grasp of the data that they're using and how that's going to be represented in the charts themselves. Here we can see Goodwin Sports Supply, there's operating expenses, and this will be listed in the x-axis or the horizontal. I'll just scroll down so you can see that. So here's our x-axis, and we have payroll, rent, for example, rent, advertisements, cost of goods sold. We're also going to have the legends that are going to be displayed, so that's going to be Q1, Q2, Q3. The legends are referring to the data, so here's our data for Q3, here's our data for Q2, and our data for Q1. You can see that below as well. So blue is denoting Q1, red is denoting Q2, green Q3. Got the data to be graphed, and we also have a number of options with our spreadsheets. For example, horizontal grid lines. So looking at the elements of a chart, we have the chart title, we have the vertical axis, we have the horizontal axis or x-axis, and we'll have access titles for here and access titles for here. There's our $ for the vertical axis, and expense is our access title for the x-axis. So I've replicated the Goodwin Sports Supply data here. And to begin with, I just want to select my data that will be graphed. So selecting the range, pressing Control key so I can grab another range. And that's the data that I want to graph. Chart data is from the Insert ribbon to the chart group here. Here it is here. And this is in Excel 2016, could be slightly different with the 2013, but not too much. So there is a recommended charts that will show you some chart types and what it will look like. We're going to be after the clustered column. If we open up into the group, we can also go all charts, so column, line charts, pie charts, etc. So we're going to go insert and go to clustered column, so that's okay. The chart is here, and I have a number of controls. I can change the chart type by going into there, into the change chart type. I can switch rows, which makes it a little different. So what that's doing is, at the moment we have payroll, utilities, rent, advertising, cost of goods sold. Payroll is its own category. If we switch rows to columns, we now have the category of Q1, Q2, Q3. So switch rows back, and that will be similar to the graph that we have here. A little different with formatting we'll get into later, and you can work through the book with the formats. So probably the best way to enter your chart elements is using the chart element button. So clicking on the graph, the chart, and over here the little plus button. This gives us all our chart elements. So put in the axis, got axis titles, so taking them away and putting them back in. So a methodical approach would be to work from the top down. Okay, we want our axis in. Access titles. We need to actually sorry. So the best way to add the chart elements is to click on the chart, and you'll see the drop down chart element button. click on here. It's easiest just to work top down, so it's already showing our axis. That's without the axis. Our axis titles, it's showing it what it will look like with, without. So with, we do want an axis title. Chart title, we have data labels. We won't put those in yet. Data table, that's just showing the data underneath the table. Some error bars, probably not used in column bar graphs that much. Grid lines, yeah, we'll put in the grid lines, keep the grid lines, and a legend. Let's keep that legend. Yeah, by double clicking on those elements, we can add the values. So quarterly expense comparison. Our horizontal or x-axis title is expenses. Our y-axis or vertical axis is it's just going to be a dollar sign actually, because it's a value. And when I put that in, I will. Okay, so to rotate that dollar sign, go back into my chart elements, axis title, because it's an axis title. More options, and we've got a title option here. It's very important that I select the right one, so I don't want the horizontal category axis title, which is selected. I want the vertical axis title, so I go down to that, and now that that's selected in here, size and property, effects, fill and line, I want to go to size and property, and look at the text direction, get it in the right direction, close. Okay, a little bit more formatting with the title, so click on that, put it in the middle. Format, and bold it. And stop. Okay, so to bold, I highlight my title and then just use my format, font formats on the menu bar, bold. A few other formatting options we have is the columns. We just click on the column and it actually highlights every column for that series. And right click, fill, just similar here, right click, green, and with the data labels we select the series we want, so it's series 2, they're all selected. Data labels, and we have the data labels for what was selected, series 2. If I use my control key and select the others, actually I can only do one at a time, add that one, and then the green, I could add that one. But as for now, we're just interested in the data label for series 2. So I'll go down, I'll rename my spreadsheet. This is not in the exercise sheet, so it's one that I've made up. I'll just call it Goodwins Sports. So again, if we wanted to do something with the chart, we select on the chart and design, It gives us our options for the chart. Adding an element, as we said, going there. Some overall formats using this one. This is a filter, and we can select or deselect different data. Not sure if that really works. And finally, we can move the chart. So using the move chart location, we can put into a new spreadsheet or elect to put it into an existing spreadsheet. Let's go new sheet, and there we have our chart. I'll just make that a little bit bigger. Right click, edit text if I want to edit text, or right click font to choose a bigger font is another way of changing my title. Okay. Moving on to the chart exercises in eLearn. I'll open up the spreadsheet. First exercise is the 3A. We're highlighting all of quarter 3. So here's our data, sales commission data. Let's see what happens when we just do quarter 3. Highlighting the range of quarter 3 down to there. Insert on the ribbon. We have our chart. We want to insert a 2D cluster column chart. And when we do that, move the chart over here a bit. It's not really a useful chart. Now I'm going to delete that chart. I just highlighted the areas that we are going to use. We're going to select the sales person, commission, quarterly, base pay, and total pay. Selecting that with my mouse, the left click on control to get different ranges highlighted. Insert. Let's try again. Here we have our chart. Okay, so if we're going to do the same for the fourth quarter, we can do the same approach. In actual fact, I can even drag my data down. So making sure that the fourth quarter is captured. And now, if I click on the chart, we can see that the chart has been updated to just the fourth quarter data. So a little trick there, just by highlighting on the chart and moving the data range, changes where the data changes the graph. We're also asked to change the y-axis maximum value of 18,000 and with increments of 3,000. So what's important here is that we click on the actual y-axis here. Once we're there we are, it's selected. Then we can go format axis, and it brings us to this page here. Very important though that we drop down and make sure that it's the vertical value axis that we're dealing with, not the horizontal. And our maximum bounds are here. So we have a maximum value of 18,000. That's what we want to put in. So 18,000. And major increments of 3,000. And no minor increments. that's fine. Minor increments are automatic, but they don't show. Okay, to make a copy of the chart, we can move or copy the chart, or move the chart into different sheets here. But to copy it, it's an object in itself, so just right-click copy, and we'll go down here, right-click, Control-V if you like, paste, and that's how we copy the chart. If we wanted to move it, click on Design, and then, as I said, Move Chart, either into a new sheet or keep in the existing sheet. Let's change the chart type to a pie graph. So there's our pie. Click on that. Do a 3D one. Click OK. And looks like we've picked up all the names, so that's good. But you'll notice that the pie chart, if I select on the data, I'll get rid of this chart. It's only picking up the commission. So only the commission data is shown there. While the whole data is actually being picked up still in the graph. The actual chart itself is only picking up commission. What happens if I do this? I can't do that. That's the way that a pie chart is. It's just showing one item split up into many groups. You can't show commission, quarterly, base pay and total pay, so it's just choosing the one, which is the commission. That's the major difference. The titles need to be looked at the end. They don't necessarily center themselves, so you may want to center it. And just do that. But in all of this, what I want to show you is the F11 quick chart. So again, let's select our data. So we're going to select salesperson, commission, quarterly, and total pay again. And then just simply press F11. And there we have a chart. Quick chart's being created. We can print this as a PDF. So just selecting Adobe PDF, select print, and it creates a PDF that I'll show you. It can be sent by email to people who may not be familiar with Excel or don't have Excel. That's about it. Going back to our slide, there is another exercise in section 3, another graph exercise. I'd like students to complete that themselves. Homework will be to complete all of the exercises in section 3 and preparing for and reading the textbook for topic 4 next week. There are some students moving more rapidly, so quite happy for them to move throughout the book at their own pace, even if that's topic 4, 5, even 6, that's fine. For my online students, I'll be available for 1 hour between 11 and 12 on Thursday. The way it's working out, it's best that I preload these 30-minute videos, you watch them, and then that way the session on a Thursday can just be about any assistance that's needed. But definitely will be available for that full hour. Thank you.